Hello, welcome. Hi, hello, hi, everybody, and people that are here live that are unaware that alerts don't happen during this time. This is the TBA, TBD podcast that doesn't have a name yet, apart from literally Prince and a lesser known cousin, Shat.
The Shat
I mean,
podcast.
SHAT. Yeah, it's not Shat, it's SHAT. It's an acronym. TBDTA. TBTPDBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBBB
yumpy.
As always, yeah, we are Castasia, and yeah, you do the thing where you say my name and it sounds all rehearsed and stuff.
Shalama!
Wow, yeah, wow, cool, that's us. Look at how well we're doing this.
It's
Yeah,
Shalama, the people Jareth of the internets.
yes, and the only living spider cat on Castasia
At least that we know of.
that we know of. Right, back with another installment of trying to talk about things. Oh God. How are you doing? What did anything interesting happen to you this past week? Anything that you have on your soul,
Damn.
on your heart?
Damn, you're making me go first. Jesus, that's pretty ruthless. But okay, what's on my soul this
Whoa.
week? I think my soul is full of taxes.
Oh God.
Do you really
Well,
want me to do you really want to get me started?
I mean, that could be good if it's full of taxes that you get paid from people that live in it. Maybe
No, Texas is not what is not paying me, and neither are taxes.
that sucks. Okay. Well, what is it then?
Well, I just really am tired of trying to do my own taxes, and I don't want to pay tax consultants to do it for me. So, or rather, if I did, I would be even more broke than I am, which is always the conundrum that you find yourself in if you're like a small business. And there's this insanity when it comes to taxes and doing trade between countries, which is like,
Yeah.
it's so
What are you
weird.
trading?
You're just exchanging some digits between each other, you know?
Digits. How
Yeah.
many digits? Like, are we talking the tip of the finger or like the whole finger? All 3 digits, you know?
Well, basically it's not a fixed amount of digits. Like you can chop off your fingers and you have like fractions of your finger that you exchange sometimes.
Don't do this at home, though. Don't chop off your fingies.
Yeah. So countries like to like people in countries and stuff like to shuffle around some numbers which we've agreed to call money, which is a
Oh,
very
that stuff.
abstract concept that somehow dictates if we deserve to eat or not. And what pisses me off is that all these countries in the world have not figured their shit out in a way that we can just at least exchange these numbers between ourselves with more like simplicity. Like you have regulations that exist in the European Union, usually to do with a value added tax, which
Oh,
is
I love regulations. They're so regular.
yeah, they're very regular. I've also like I don't know if in the United States, for example, there is such a thing as value added tax. I don't think so. It's weird because I've not looked at this, but I have the impression that value added tax is not a thing that happens everywhere in the world. So
Oh, you mean Mehrwertsteuer. I just realized what you
yes,
mean. Yeah, okay.
there's like in Germany there are two different ways to call value added tax depending on who's paying it. Do you even know that you have two terms for this? Because you have Mehrwertsteuer, which is value-added tax that the customer pays, like the end customer.
And Umsatzsteuer, is
And
that the other one?
yeah, Umsatzsteuer, which is kind of the term you
Revenue
use.
tax.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, because you use that more as the business that's doing the sales, but it's the same tax technically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just to begin to explain why I'm pissed at taxes in Germany, but this is not like European wide. You still have VAT that you apply on sales, and when you're trading between like countries that are in the European Union, most of the time you have different VAT percentages that you apply. Like each country kind of decides, okay, we're going to do 19%, we're going to do 7% for some products, but we're going to do 13% in like, I don't know, Sweden or wherever. I actually have no idea what the percentage of Sweden is. I'm just saying it's different than in Germany, let's say. Or actually Sweden.
Germany has very high taxes, I think. I think we have some of the highest taxes on any consumer products, but we have different taxes on food stuff. I think if you buy produce, you only pay like 9%.
No, you
or
pay
7%.
7% for stuff like produce, and I
Yeah.
think maybe staying in like a hotel or some other stuff, or like using the public transportation, like the Deutsche Bahn, I think is also taxed at 7% for whatever reason. But yeah, most other things are 19%, and you have like, you also basically sometimes trade with companies that are outside of Germany. And then you have to figure out who is actually due to pay the freaking VAT. Because I don't know, there's this whole thing which is like still mind-boggling to me, despite the fact that I've been trying to learn how it works for like over a year now. You have this reverse charge regulation, which kind of tells you that like things are operating backwards than usual. Like in some, normally you sell something to an end consumer and that person has to pay the VAT. But if you sell something to a company or to a consumer that's like in another country than you in the European Union, you might have to pay the VAT. I don't really get it though.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's why that's basically when I left business school, when I realized that bookkeeping was a pain in the ass. And I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah, the
I'm
bookkeeping
going to
is
do something
insane.
else.
Like that's the thing. We've started with Symmetry Break. We've started doing some sales that are technically happening on platforms that are not in Germany, like on Itch or on like the Unity Assets store. We're one day maybe gonna sell stuff on Steam. And I've been trying to understand, okay, do I have to pay VAT on the payout that they give you from this, from like the assets you managed to sell there? But I think like maybe every platform does this differently. I don't know. Like Itch gives you two options. Either you deal with the VAT yourself, because Itch kind of tells you which countries your assets sold in, right? Like you have a list, okay, there were 3 sales made in the US, 3 sales made in the UK, whatever, and then you would have to figure out, you would have to declare all the VAT that you owe to those countries, kind of, because the sale was performed in that country, so you have to pay VAT there, or actually maybe you have to pay VAT in Germany. I still don't know. You see, like I just don't get it. Like technically, when somebody buys something from you, they should kind of pay the VAT, or in some way the VAT has to make it to the state, some state, whether it's Germany or the country that the purchase was made in. I'm still learning.
It's just all just sounds like pain.
Well, that's why I'm mad about it. So
I feel like if I had to deal with that stuff, I would not know how to do any of it. And I try dealing with stuff like it brings me back to university PTSD. situations of trying to understand biochemical stuff, learning that stuff, which is super complicated, and then giving up.
Yeah, but the sad bit is it's not like this stuff, learning this stuff is impossible. Like it's just that it takes so much of your mental capacity to just kind of like get it in your intuitive understanding where you don't have to double like to second guess yourself anymore. You just know, okay, this is how it works. Until you get there to that intuitive understanding of it all, it takes too long because there's too many like rules and exceptions and whatever. And that's why I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Like they could just be like, I don't know, let's just all have the same rate. Let's just all pay it in this way and that's it. And maybe I don't know, like they make this also they try to make some advantages for businesses to pay less tax in a way because they can like avoid paying VAT as a business. But by introducing this whole thing where they try to take more money from the individual consumers, they introduce so much difficulty for the businesses themselves that actually I'm not sure the gains are worth it anymore. Like if a business has to put in so much effort and so much money to pay accountants and whatever to like make sure all this is paid, it's more like, okay, I'd rather just not have this advantage. I'd rather just be like, whatever. I don't need the tax deduction.
I mean, I mean, it's honestly, I went to business school for like 1.5 years, and I think it takes 2 years to finish the higher level of business school that I was in. And throughout all that time, for 2 years, you have bookkeeping, and you need to learn basically all these things. You have to over and over do bookkeeping. You literally get like huge sheets of paper. It's massive pieces of paper with different tables in it with all the positions. Like this is your car park. This is all your cars. This is all your pencils and staplers and shit and all that stuff. And then you have to actually learn all the numbers for every position. Like every position in bookkeeping has like a specific number, and you had to learn them by heart. And you had to be able to be asked, and you immediately say the number. that's that's basically how these people learn this stuff. They have to just know what something gets booked under. An accountant needs to be accountant brained. They need to be looking at his
Accountant
receipt
brained.
and immediately know like this thing goes in this position, this thing goes in this position, and my sheets all need to be balanced. And that shit is so fucking hard. It's so insane. And there's like, yeah, but this thing, this is money that I'm loaning, and this is money that I've loaned. So this now goes in the this is the money I'm supposed to have, and this is the money that I have. And for some bits, it's the opposite way. Then it goes into the other column, and it's something that I've had such trouble understanding. And then it also, yeah, it's all these weird. I didn't even get into the part where it's like, oh, we are doing business outside of Germany now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's hard enough to even just indicate the business you do it within the same countries that your business is operating in. But when you go and cross borders, it's even more freaking insane. And I'm not like, I've been using a digital platform to do my taxes because like obviously I have not learned how to do like do this like balance sheets where like you have to put the influx of money and the outer outgoing flux of money in like in these parallel tables, and everything has to kind of match or like appear twice. I don't know. I just use this digital platform that does everything kind of in the back end, but it still gives you a list of like all the possible categories they accept. And this platform has limitations because some things are not clear how to put in for somebody who didn't learn how to do accounting.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
problem
that's why
is,
that's a job that basically is never going away until I feel like accounting is something that isn't yet feasible to be fixed with AI because of all the different situations. I guess they still have to train. They would have to train it really well.
Yeah, but
I guess in the future maybe.
what I wish is that they would just kind of simplify the tax process so hard that you could do it as any person and you don't need tax consultants anymore, which is a job that only exists because our tax system is so fucking complicated. But then, of course, you would be like, yeah, but then these people trained for so long, you don't want to leave them jobless. Okay, I understand. But at the same time, it's like we have to bear the load as a society to justify how things already are, to keep things in the status
Yeah.
quo instead of just
I
being
think
more simple about it.
this is not just a German issue, though.
No.
Now that I think about it, because I was going to mention WISO, which is WISO, which is one of the big tax software providers. Who the bizarre thing they do is every year they release a software simply to do your taxes for the last year. And you buy, I don't know if you still buy a disc, but for a long time, you just bought a CD with the software on it from Aldi or anywhere where it was on sale. And everybody would do that because nobody can do their taxes without help. And this software, this entire company just preys on that problem. And I also, the only time I ever really had to do my taxes because I knew that I got too much money. And so far, I've never made enough money to have to do my taxes outside of when I already had a job and the taxes were done for me, basically. And the service, I realized, no, I actually heard about TurboTax. I think that's the American one. I think America also has this, where it's like one company called TurboTax or something.
Yeah, that's a
I guess an
thing.
American would need to confirm that also just handles the software, sells the software for everybody to use to do their taxes. Because it seems like a Western society thing that taxes are so difficult that you just have to use software to fix that problem for yourself.
And by the way, because you said that when you are employed somewhere, the taxes are done for you, that's not true.
Well, I don't have to report my taxes because I already paid my taxes. It's optional, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, but you should do it in order to get some of the tax money back because
Yes, if
you will
if you
probably
want to
pay
do the
too
hassle.
much. Yeah.
Yes, but that hinges on, do I have the energy for the emotional and mental strain to do that?
Depending on how much you earn, that's when it comes in that you want to like pay a tax consultant to do it for you. And then I've heard stories that people actually got back quite a decent amount of tax money, but I don't know if it's worth it unless you really like you had a salary that was pretty good and then it's like you pay the consultant less than you get back. I don't know.
It really depends. I mean, a lot of people cheat that system.
They do.
Two
That's
of
why
my
they might get more money back than,
Yeah,
you know?
that's actually quite funny because uh, out of two of my long-term relationships, the dad would always ask for the receipts from pumping gas because both of them had cars that effectively were owned by their parents. So they would keep the receipts from pumping gas every time in the car. And anytime we would visit their parents, we would hand over the receipts for all the pumping the gas situations so they could declare it on their tax and get money back. And that's the most common thing I know that practically everybody does.
Yeah, but like I don't know how that works for like individuals, but I'm guessing that they were just like pretending like they were using the vehicles to go to work with that, which
Yeah.
obviously they weren't doing if they were just using the car for private trips. But you can like how is the state isn't necessarily going to be able to check if you use the car for work or not in that
No, that's
case.
like a blind spot, basically. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's also if you do your taxes and you do them wrong, you might never find out because nobody checks. Like there's no way so many people do their taxes and the finance bureau is able to be on top of every little detail.
Yeah, but with as a company, you are like they could do like a
An
check on
audit,
you, an
yeah.
audit, and you want to be able to not get fined because they find some stuff that's totally like out of whack.
When an audit happened, you usually are already under suspicion because something happened.
What I've
Maybe
heard that you can randomly get audited without there being suspicion or whatever, like especially after like several years of existing, you're likely to just get a random audit. But I
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
I'm not sure. Like,
Yeah, I've not heard of that, but I
that's
guess that's possible.
that's what I've understood. It hasn't happened to us yet, but it's just like I'm super paranoid about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're not immediately fucked if you get audited either, though. You know, it's not like you intentionally fuck stuff up
No, but
or do wrong stuff.
you know, like there's always this fear of if I take matters into my own hands and I just kind of like try to do most taxes by myself, except for like some end of year stuff, which we still pay a tax accountant to do for us because that would be even more complicated and even more above my pay grade. So they use their templates and they charge us a lot of money and they just kind of use the data I put into this digital platform and they do it for us. But like the rest of the stuff, I kind of try to do myself. And I'm always worried that I'm just doing it wrong because I don't have the training for this shit. Or like some stuff, like I was saying, I was trying for weeks to understand how exactly to book a specific thing, like that we got some money from itch.io that we made selling some Unity asset, and now I'm not sure if we're still supposed to pay VAT for it. Technically, itch declares in the settings that they have been taking care of the VAT because they're registered in a way that they can like declare this VAT in Europe, even like they're a company operating in the States, but they're registered in Europe in a way to simplify. It's called like one-stop shop. There's this like way of registering with the European Union so that you can declare your VAT that you've accumulated by selling stuff to consumers. You declare it in one place, and then I don't know, the EU is aware of it. So they are supposed to do that, but when you do your own declaration of like VAT that you've accumulated, which for us we have to do it quarterly, how do we prove that that VAT is taken care of? It's not written in the invoice that Itch gave us. Itch just kind of says, yeah, this is the money we owed you. This is our VAT number. Why is that still working? Oh, there's still a freaking thing that...
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't make a sound. I think it's kind of funny.
Okay, somebody gets banned because they wanted to do a thing. But anyways, yeah, it's like it's just you as the company have to still prove that that VAT that kind of was a result of the like sales you made or somebody made in your name still are accounted for. Like they call it a zusammenfassende Meldung. Like you have to make this declaration of sales you've made in other countries that then theoretically the EU would track down and make sure that they were covered. It's just insane. I don't know.
I'm getting a headache just listening to this, to be honest. I kind of stopped being able to pay attention a little bit.
I think we can switch the topics. It's just that I wanted to vent my frustration about how absurdly difficult this is.
I just feel like we got lost in the weeds because I totally was unable to understand anything anymore.
Yeah, well, really, this is how I feel too. Like it literally is. I'm just lost in the weeds, and I want to not think about it anymore. But it's constantly in the back of my brain because that's how problems get stuck in there until I've solved them. They just stay and hinder me.
Yeah. We can move on. I just get it's a super exhausting topic. I don't know. I guess the only thing I would ever have to say for that is that I think any company, even if they're very small, they get an accountant as soon as possible. I think, but it's a privilege. Like it's not cheap. So
yeah, this is Again, this is the last thing I'm going to say on this topic. It's always better to have an accountant to deal with this stuff, but it's not something you can always afford. So what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. I don't know. I think
Just not. I guess the answer you're going to get from society is don't start a business. Why would you start a business if you can't afford running one?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's difficult. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something out there that the answers out there that are just we're unaware of. I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult. I would have no clue, honestly.
Right. So fuck that topic. What about you? Tell me something about your week.
Talking about being in the weeds. Yeah, I received my prescription on Monday. I
Oh
got
shit.
my medicine, my legally sourced. Uh, I'm allowed to say cannabis. I just think it's funnier to talk around it.
Yeah,
You know?
you're still using the crutch that we used to have to use when it was illegal.
Yeah. Uh, uh, the whole topic, I could just talk about that still because there's so much going on around there. But I just don't want to be the weed guy for that just talks about friggin' smoking the weeds 2
Nah,
weeks
nah,
in a
you
row.
can't be the weed guy because we have Dr. Weed who is the weed guy.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's one of the problems I could address if people want to know. It's kind of fucked up. It's not fucked up in a weird way, in a way of, this is messed up. It's fucked up in a way that this is very tedious and annoying. It's not like a historic event just happened. Well, I mean, yeah, it is an historic event for Europe because this is the only country that has ever done it this way. Like the Netherlands has a very weird regulation around it. It's different. It's both not fully legalized. Uh, it's kind of weird, but I received my prescription. I received my Dynavap, which is you can consume your cannabis without burning it, so you don't get lung cancer from the smoke. That's neat. I mowed the lawn the first time on Monday. I think, or was it? No, it was on Monday evening. I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. Because I've allegedly never done it. And I don't know. I don't know. If I had done it, it would have probably been a bunch of 10 years ago, which I obviously haven't, even though it
Obviously.
would be fine now. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I realized the stuff that I was prescribed was more like for very THC heavy, so it's more makes you a little more attentive focused. It doesn't make you super tired. It just makes you like, whoa, It's I don't know. Stuff is a little funnier, a little sillier. And here we come to the other bit. I realized, yeah, maybe I should also get CBD stuff because I need this stuff to not just to be able to not have anxiety, but maybe sometimes also because I have really bad sleep problems. So I try to get a second prescription for another scenario, which would be the sleep problem, which is a CBD heavy strain of stuff. And then I try to use the other website. There's two websites, two telemedicine services that do this right now. They both just send it, as we talked last week, to this guy that is in Croatia. Dr. Coatsios, as people call him.
Dr.
Uh,
What?
Croatius, basically,
Croatius?
like Coatsios. Yeah, people are making it Latin because that's what Germans like to do.
Oh, why? Why? They could
I
have
don't
just
know.
gone with Dr. Weed, which is so much more simple.
Yeah, but if you've ever been on German subreddits, for example, or Instagram, you'll see that Germans like to Germanize things in very specific ways. Obtusely, uh, literally translating things as well.
Hmm. So
They
if I
translate
wanted to say,
Discord literally, for example. They call
really?
it they call it Streitbediener, which literally means Discord server, as someone that serves Discord,
You mean like a
because
waiter?
Discord is Streit. Yes, it's like you have a waiter that brings you Discord. Like the concept of Discord, not the program, not the chatting
Like
thing.
an argument wager.
Yes, he serves you arguments.
Ah.
Yeah, that's how people translate in Germany because they think that's funny.
That's a
Because the
restaurant
German
concept.
language. Yeah, but that's basically all of online German humor is translating things literally. It goes back to my childhood before the internet, where people would translate. It goes the other way around. This is a good example. We have Brückengeländer, which is the railing on a bridge so you don't fall off, right?
Hmm.
And people that learned English were like, okay, this is easy to translate. I just use each word we put together in Germany, and I translate them each and string them together in English. So it's bridge go countries.
Bridge. Brücken.
Brückengeländer. Yes.
I get it.
Bridge go countries. Yeah, that's the railing on a bridge.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's German humor for you. Yeah, that's yeah. We are welcome. Inshallah.
Yeah, but that's humor because they took the phonetic thing.
Yeah, but that's how they do it both ways, basically. That's why they also like to then call the doctor Dr. Coatius, because putting in US at the end makes it Latin, you know?
Mm-hmm. I don't
how
know.
that
That's
works.
not exactly the same kind of humor, but okay, I'll
No,
accept it.
I'm just giving examples of the low level of humor we're dealing with. That's it. Okay. Anyway, I use this other service that charges like Cango. You have to, which I used first. You're charged like $15, $14.99. You know, normal number. It doesn't feel too much, but it feels like a good price for the service. It feels fair. The other service, Dr. Ansai, they charge. How much do you think they charge? It's a funny number.
$4.20?
Yes.
They do charge $4.20?
They literally charge $4.20 to get your cannabis prescription. Yes. Which I didn't
mean,
use them at first.
honestly, I kind of support that.
Yeah. But the problem is their service is also a third of the price and less. And it shows because it's kind of shit. I thought, sure, for the whole experience, so I can talk about it on the podcast, I'll use both services and see how it turns out. Well, here we are now because I used their service. I got back from them. They got back to me. They wanted me to tell them what I thought was a good strain to combat my issues and tell them my issues. I did. I gave them a CBD heavy strain, you know, for reducing stress and being able to sleep and stuff. And my prescription, which was something entirely different, I was prescribed. Also, I told them I want 2 grams, not more than that, because it's too much money and I don't need that much. I'm very frugal. I don't consume a lot. And I got prescribed 15 grams of Boba Kush, which is a 22% THC strain.
Boba
that has
Kush.
1% CBD. Yeah, Boba Kush. Bubba Kush, I think.
Not Boba from the Yogscast.
Yeah. And I don't want that. I don't want something that's even harder than the stuff that I already had. I want CBD stuff, please. So they don't have a support hotline or chat, which Cango has easily available. So yeah, I kind of
Wow.
have to eat the cost and use Cango instead, which is why it's probably just $4.20 because the service is shit.
Damn. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're telling me because I was thinking if we're going to do a 420 stream, I probably have to also get my prescription filed
Yeah.
somewhere.
You don't have to get a prescription if you can grow a plant real quick.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna speed run growing a plant in 10 days.
Yeah, but maybe it's realistic though to get it in that time. Not growing, getting it.
Yeah.
It takes 72 hours apparently right now, according to Kango, to fulfill an order. The weird part with the Anzai guy is also it's not the guy. It's just the website's name. They just use someone's name. I don't even know if that person is really involved. But the problem is the prescription I got is also only for picking it up in person at a pharmacy, which the other one is not, because now I have to make sure a pharmacy in Hamburg even has any of that stuff, which is already the wrong stuff. So I need that fixed somehow. And they have an email. They say, hey, here, you can tell us which pharmacy to send it to, and that's it. They don't tell me anything with, hey, is this fine? Should we change this? Do you feel comfortable with this prescription? No, I do not. I don't want that much THC. So
And that much
yeah.
weed. Like, they got everything wrong that they could get wrong.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know how much money that would be. I don't know this strain. I don't know how expensive it would be. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. So you're basically just going to not fulfill that prescription and just like lose the 420 euro.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. It costs like 13 bucks and 80 cents per gram.
Jesus Christ.
In
That's
the
gonna
online
be like
pharmacy.
200 bucks or something.
It's a very high THC strain, I think. So yeah, that would cost me 207 bucks for
Wow.
15 grams of weed. Yep. Yeah.
That's whack.
On the flip side, the one I have right now has 18% and cost me $6 something per gram. Half as much. Yeah. Prices all over the place. Yeah.
But how has this
Yeah.
strain been making? Have you been using it and testing the...
Yeah, well, as I said, it basically makes my head feel free of like distraction a little bit. It does make me feel chill, which is very nice. It was very pleasant to use because I was like, oh, my brain isn't drifting into worry territory that much. That's
Oh
great.
god, sounds like I need that. Oh my fucking god. I'm so
That wasn't-
stressed all the
wasn't bad.
time. Pot
Well,
raid!
but
Wait,
the
we
solution is not-
we have to give a fuck.
a pot shout.
Papa shout. Can I just call you Papa?
shout.
Hello, Papa 25.
Hello, Papa 25. And yeah, hi. During we'll cut this out or we leave this in, this is live recorded. Hello everybody.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now, but you can still chat. We'll still take note of chat.
Yeah, we appreciate anybody that is live for this, and we acknowledge their existence. Please do crack on. We are cracking on, but not crack. We're talking about weed.
Yeah, we're
because
talking
that's
about
legal
weed.
in Germany. It's legal here, so I am allowed to. I could smoke it here right now if I wanted to as well, because I think Twitch handles this in a way of if it's legal where you are, you can do it. It basically this with alcohol the same rule. If you're so drunk, you cannot be accounted for properly. You don't have your wits about you. You shouldn't stream, kind of.
Well, that's maybe what we're gonna just do. Like, we're gonna test this hypothesis by maybe doing a 420 stream where we could do like a you laugh you lose challenge.
Yeah, we might try doing a you laugh you lose. It will be Saturday in a week. That's a good day actually. That's not a bad day. I never work on Saturday, so that works for me.
For me, it's gonna be a little rough because I'm gonna be going to Munich on the 18th, which is a 6-hour trip, and on the 19th, I'm gonna come back again for 6 hours, and I'm gonna come back, I think, pretty late in the day. So next day, I would be kind of tired, but hopefully it's not gonna be a huge deal, and I'll still be like ready to go.
Yeah, that's something you can do tired, Specifically, that is something you can easily do tired.
Well, I mean, I want to have a good chance at like trying to win the challenge,
Yeah. I honestly don't care about winning. I just want to have fun. So if I lose, I don't even care.
Nah, I've said this before. What I'm really afraid of with weight is that I'm just not going to take it well because I've never this far felt good. Like,
well, you should try it
any-
off stream just to be sure.
Yeah, I have to figure out. I have to get myself some. You said it takes 3 days
to get the prescription.
Yeah, and then
it doesn't take too long to get it. It was 1 week. All in all, it took 1 week to get my stuff.
Well, then I should get on it after the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I want to try it off stream and see how I feel. And I don't know, if I really don't take it well, then I wouldn't actually do the stream because
That's fine.
I really like, I don't know, I've been kind of just scarred by the whole experience of trying to.
The first time, if I had ever tried weed for the first time when I would have been like 20 or something, uh, I would have eaten cookies, and that I would have made in my mom's kitchen when she was around, and it smelled up the whole place. And I would have had eaten the first cookie, and I would have had a massive headache, and everything would have been swirling and whirling around. And if I had watched Family Guy at the time, which was fairly new, I guess, I don't know. When I would look to the side, it would have looked like paint was being dragged all over the wall from one side to the other, like you're having insane motion blur. That's what it maybe would have, been like.
Would have.
But then after that, it would have been fine, and none of the other cookies would have even had any effect for some reason. Yep.
Interesting story.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It depends. I mean, with alcohol, I feel like I often just feel bad. So that's
Same.
I only drink a tiny bit, like a beer, and then I'm happy. About having quaffed a nice beverage, but beyond that, I don't get drunk because I just don't have a fun time being drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
I drink beer like once every 2 months, basically. Maybe once a month, depend. Yeah. Anyway, that's my weed update, and also about how I was potentially doing a 420 thing. But I have one fun thing for us both to do. Still, we can end on that if you're up for that.
Sure.
There's also a tiny bit of information attached to that. I talked about learning Japanese, right? And I've been learning more Japanese, and there's a bit of a problem there. I had like 1 weekend where I didn't manage to properly do the Duolingo stuff, and then Duo, the owl, became like, first it starts out as, "Hey, you should be learning right now." That's how they do the notifications at first, but as you go along and you don't do the Duolingo learning stuff, they become kind of, "Hey, how about doing some Japanese, uwu, unless?" Or, "Hey, would you be up for maybe learning some?" They become very like, it feels like you are being in an abusive relationship. And even though Duo starts out as the abuser, suddenly it feels like you are the abuser and it's crawling back to you.
It's
It's so
gaslighting.
weird. It is so toxic. Duolingo is such an unhealthy relationship. It's so manipulative. The way it works literally mimics a toxic, abusive relationship.
Oh my god.
It's so weird. And the
I
the thing
hate that
is,
about it. Seriously, this is why I hate the fucking service. Not just because the process of using it to learn is boring, but it's also
mhm,
because it bombards you with stupid notifications like
I
that.
think it's fun for me to learn Japanese with. I like how they teach you the signs to write Japanese and read it. I've been having fun with it. I just had a few days of not being able to keep up. So I lost my streak, which was like a month long by now. And the thing is, I noticed that the icon on my I don't know if this is all phones, but I have a current Android version on my Google Pixel. So the icon for the app progressively got more sad and tired and broken down. So now the owl has massive folds on its forehead and looks like it's been dragged through like 2 weeks of working without any break.
What? Are you
That's how it looks.
serious? They changed
Yes.
the icon on your app?
Yes. The app icon just looks tired and beaten now. So it's almost like it's supposed to make me sympathetic, but it made the opposite happen in me. I relish in its pain so much so that I do not want to improve on how well I'm learning Japanese and how often I'm doing it, because if I do, it will be looking more happy again.
Oh
And
my
I kind of
god.
think the owl deserves this little respite of not feeling like a massive asshole that can bully me around to learn Japanese.
You want to make Duo actually miserable. You actually this thing has actually developed you into a toxic partner in the relationship.
Well, it's not real though. But it tries to manipulate me. So I'm like, now I don't wanna humor you. You're an asshole to me, and now you act all like you have sort of sympathy, and I don't have sympathy. You're a green owl.
But do you think they just did the update for April Fools, or is it actually related to you not having used the service for a while?
No, I'm pretty sure this is related to me not doing Duo like last week, like Duolingo last week.
Okay, look, I'm
After
just briefly, can you look at stream and tell me if this is actually
looking.
what your icon looks like right now?
That's exactly what my icon looks like. Yes.
Because this is from one day ago.
Around.
Somebody just says that Duolingo has updated its app icon, and I
Yes.
guess that's what it used to look, and this is what it looks like now. But I don't know if this is just the icon for all of the users, you know?
Well, we don't know if this user is using Duolingo actively or if they also just are not working on it. There's no comments I can see, at least.
Yeah, I also can't see comments because I'm not logged in on Instagram here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I don't want to
Yeah, I
log
don't
in
know.
right now.
If it's an overall thing, then why the fuck is it like that? Maybe we should investigate that still next time.
I know. I'm actually like I really want to see if we can follow up on this next podcast episode.
Yeah. Anyway, this is relevant because of Japanese. Today, I was watching shout out to Abroad in Japan, one of the most interesting channels about Japanese stuff, I guess. But they were talking about things that most people probably don't know about Japan, you know. And I feel like this is probably one of the things they listed. They also said some of these things. People obviously know some of these things. That's just, you know, people are nerds. And they'll tell you, they'll tell you in the comment section down below, if you're listening to the VOD, tell us, you know, just saying. Like and subscribe. Yeah, Japanese, uses a ton of loan words, but like half their words are already like from Chinese, and it's the kanji alphabet is basically mostly Chinese characters from like the ancient times. The wiki article just says ancient times is when they got them. I don't know when that is. Like, did Jesus on the back of a dinosaur go to China and bring letters over to Japan? I don't know. I don't know. Was it like 6,000 years ago? I don't know when ancient times is. Doesn't matter though, because um, they have a lot of other loanwords from other languages too, including French, English, and German. And English they got mostly like after the Second World War, apparently. But the German words were the late 19th century and early 20th century. So that's actually quite a while ago. And I have some words here for you. And if you want, you can guess, what if you can figure out what they are.
So this is
And
for me. This is a challenge for me.
well, it's something different. It's like a little fun thing, and we can play it together, kind of a little bit.
Okay. Do I need to do something to prepare for the game?
Nah, I'll just tell you some words, and you tell me what you think they are. The word that kicked this off for me, looking into the list of these words, and it's also an example used when they say that German was during the Meiji period, I think. German was introduced. Also, these are called garaigo. Yeah, those are the words. They are the loan words. Usually written in katakana. That's the alphabet they use for foreign words. And the word that kicked this off is Arubaito.
Oh my god.
Arubaito. Also said as baito.
Arubaito?
Arubaito. What do you think that means?
Okay, listen. So okay, I'm a bit frazzled by this because yeah, clearly that's a German word.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
But do they write this with Japanese characters?
Yeah, of course. But there's always like a Roman spelling for it too.
Yeah.
So I can post in chat like this if this works. Yeah, this is the Japanese spelling, but when you translate that into like Roman letters, it's Arubaito.
Okay.
That's how it's said. Yeah. This is also how I'm learning the Japanese, basically. I'm learning the syllables, and then I'm learning the signs that correspond to them.
Yeah, and you're learning basically what German words these have been borrowed from.
Well, that's what I learned today. And Arubaito means work, obviously.
Yeah, it comes from Arbeit.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean work. It means part-time job.
What?
Yes, because that's how the logic in Japan works. These words are not necessarily directly the meaning they take. It's actually what they associate with them. And this is also in a roundabout way, you know, how you like when when Joseph Joestar on Jojo says, Hori sheet, you know,
Yeah.
Hori sheet. That's if you say Arbeit, a Japanese person will have no clue what you mean. Because for some reason, their language is so specific in how you pronounce something that they can only understand Arubaito if you say it in like a katakana pronunciation. So they would only ever understand when you say it like that. So if you want to express holy shit to someone in Japan, you would also likely have to say horishit because that is how they say it. And they wouldn't be able to understand that you are meaning to say holy shit. You know, that's also something I learned.
But with the
very
Japanese,
specific.
do the Japanese actually have a version of holy shit that is kind of borrowed into their language?
Good question. I mean, they use a lot of English words. I think like grinderu or something I think is actually grinder, like coffee grind. There's a bunch of words that feel like they are literally just taken and made to fit to the katakana syllables. So they work. And that's why they have to be pronounced like that, because that's how the language works. You can't just take the word and put it over directly. And I think that's also why you get horishit and not holy shit.
Interesting. Well, what other words do you want me to guess then? Because it sounds like you have an entire list.
Yeah, we have other languages too. You know a little bit of French, don't you?
Yeah.
Abeku?
What? Again?
Abeku?
Abeku?
Mhm.
Okay, I have no fucking idea.
It comes from avec.
Yeah, I was actually okay because I had just gotten the idea that maybe it has something to do with avec, which means with.
Yeah.
But the V
It's
transformed to a B, which was why it was confusing.
Yeah, so that stuff like that happens often. Once you understand that, it kind of makes more sense. And this translates in Japanese to romantic couple.
Because you're with somebody.
Yeah, you're with somebody. That's why it's that. Yeah.
Oh my freaking god, that's so weird.
I know, right?
And you write it ABEKKU.
Yes. Yes, I think that's so fascinating how the logic happens with these words. Okay, good. I think this one is one we have to do. American dogu. This is something very familiar to you and I. That's the hint you can get. Also, my pronunciation might be off, so I'm sorry if our one Japanese listener listens to this at some point and gets
Oh
offended.
gosh.
I'm sorry.
I will try to remember next time I see Yuki, which is my my chatter from Japan that sometimes pops in. I have to ask him about these words. Oh my god.
So
American dogu.
Yes. It's a combination. It literally means American. The origin is American dog, right? But it's a corn dog.
A corn dog.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a hot dog. But you know, that's why I
But
was
not a
saying
hot dog, but the one that's like
no.
it's on a stick and it's covered in the batter, the dough thing.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Why?
Right? I love these so much.
God. Okay, give me another one. Give me another one.
Here's a German one, which is Bombe.
Bomba?
Bombe.
Bomba?
Mm-hmm.
A German
Yeah, you
one.
already had it.
But that
basically.
sounds like
Yes.
bomb. That just
Yeah,
sounds like bomba
exactly.
in German, which is the word for bomb.
Yeah.
1-to-1.
And It's a steel canister for storing pressurized gas, such as a propane tank.
So something that could go boom, but not an actual bomb.
Yes, it's not intended to go boom, but it could, and that's why they call it bomb.
No, fuck it. This like they took some words and they just decided to give them any like meaning that kind of branched off from them, but not
Yes.
exactly the proper meaning.
There's so many of these. Like this could be a recurring feature because it's obscene how long this list that I have is.
God.
Yeah. Speaking of weed and developing mental issues from doing taxes and stuff, Neurose. That's
Neurose?
German. Yes.
Oh my god, that's like neurose.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Neurose.
Neurose means neurosis. Neurosis.
Yes, they somehow took the word for neurosis from German.
And they say it how again?
Oh god, I wish I had a good pronunciation for this. I need a pronunciation tool for this stuff.
Maybe I can look up a pronunciation for the specific word if you just neurose.
This is the word.
Okay, and I found it in the list. This is like the in between. I actually did found the Wikipedia list that you're also using, but I'm not looking at the. I'm not spoiling myself on it. I just use it so I can Google stuff in parallel when you've already told me what it is. Pronunciation. How do you get Google to pronounce stuff for you? Let's see.
If you translate it, usually it offers you a pronunciation, actually.
Translate on Googly. Yeah, give me a second because I'm going to put in this text and then I want it neurose. Let's listen.
Noirose.
Neurose.
Yeah, neurose.
Neurose.
I just checked as well. I got it.
Yeah, neurose. Yep. It's pretty close to the German.
It's really close to the German. I always had a theory that German is way easier to learn Japanese from because our pronunciations are more similar. But I've never managed to find any verification on that. Why don't you put this in there and listen to that and you guess what that is? Oh no, you will see the translation. That's bad.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's orgy.
Oh no.
What do you think that means? It's English.
Fucking orgy. You asking me what that means?
It's
Orgy.
an orgy.
Orgy.
It's literally they literally took the word for an orgy from
Wait, it's telling me that it means Aussie.
Yeah, there's another thing that means Australian or something, I think.
But it's literally Google Translate. I pasted what you told me.
Yeah.
And it says the translation is Aussie, not orgy.
Yeah. I'm also not entirely sure why. If there's like a multi-meaning, but this is the list that I have. So maybe it's slightly incorrect. I don't know. Maybe some words have more meanings,
Yeah, Australians and also orgy.
Yeah.
Sure.
This one is one that caught me off guard. I was just randomly looking at words because there's so many. And this is an English one. It's Euro shoku.
What?
Euro shoku.
Earth shake?
Oil and shock.
Oil shock? What?
Yes, it's an oil crisis.
Okay.
I just like how they put that together. You have to it builds like a bridge to the meaning, and I think that's kind of fun.
That feels like it's a very specific term when you would just be in this like economic situation. I wouldn't have guessed that one.
It makes sense though. I think like it makes sense. The shock, because we often use the word shock in situations, right? Here's one I'm sure you'll get. This is a difficult one. It's from English. Panzer. Panzer.
I know that's just pants or underwear because that's kind of an anime term though.
Yeah, it specifically comes from British English because they do mean underpants too. They say the right for all the Brits out there, you're vindicated in that they do say, you're justified. The Japanese also agree that pantsu are just underpants.
So it cannot be pants. It's only underpants.
Yes.
Although Google Translate claims that it means pants or shorts or underpants.
But I've never seen any Japanese thing where pantsu didn't mean underpants.
Maybe you're just watching too much weird anime, though.
I'm mostly watching JoJo, and I don't know. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, that doesn't disprove what I just said at all.
Okay, one last one maybe.
Okay, one more.
Because since we're kind of late. Oh God. Okay, no, not that one.
Not what? No, exactly that one.
Oof. Okay. We have two then because I need to do the other one too. This is English though. This one. It's sekuhara. These are two words abbreviated. That might help. Sekuhara.
Sekuhara.
It's not a nice thing.
It's not a nice thing.
No.
By the way, people in chat, if you guys guess it before me, you can write it in. It's fine. I'm thinking though. I don't just immediately get it.
It would make more sense if it was seksuhara, but I guess that's not how the language works.
So instead of saying sex, they say seku?
Yeah, in this word at least.
I don't know. I'm worried that they mean like some word like whore.
No, it's an act. It's not a thing. It's an act.
Hara?
It's a thing people can do. Yes.
Harassment?
Yes, it's sexual harassment.
Wow.
Who's got it in chat? It's sexual harassment. They use the sex and the hara, and they combine it into seksuhara, like sekuhara, sexual harassment.
Why do they shorten harassment like that?
I don't know.
Wow.
But I'm feeling like I'm learning a lot of words. Like psycho means psycho, which is psychopath. And it just is, when you speak it out, suddenly it sounds like the thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one, I hope you can get this one because I feel like it should be possible. Ryukusaku.
Just like rucksack, like backpack.
Yes, exactly.
Ryuku?
It's Ryukusaku. It literally comes from the German rucksack.
That's so cute.
I know, right? Such a cute word. It's a nice one. But yeah, I don't know. This makes me happy. I think this is fun. These all are very fun words. I could do this all day.
Well, that's cute that you're having so much fun with Japanese.
I just I like the way this language comes to be. It's kind of fun, I must say. Yep.
Well, I do want to know if holy shit is also something that they actually have as a portmanteau or whatever borrowed term, because then I can make the stupid meme that is not really a meme, because then I'm not being offensive if I say holy shit, and I would like to keep making that joke without being offensive.
If I directly translate, why does it think I'm putting in German? Nante koto da is holy shit directly translated. So they have a word for it, I think.
Nante koto da.
Yeah. But it doesn't entirely match Nante koto da isn't exactly holy shit. It's just an approximation, I think. So I don't know what it actually means.
It kind of means what the hell is this?
Yeah. I guess it's more like the swear you say that is equal. Yeah, I guess the whole thing is that Joseph Joestar and Jojo he's American, right? And everybody speaks Japanese though. So he pronounces that like a Japanese person would, because I don't think they have the syllables for holy shit. That's basically it. But that still means that if you want to say that to a Japanese person and they want to be able to reproduce the words you're saying, the closest thing you can do is say holy shit.
Yeah, in the end, I really still don't feel like I'm totally clear on whether this is offensive or not, but it does make me feel a bit better about it, I guess.
Well, I guess my excuse is that Yeah, mate. If someone finds it offensive, of course you say sorry. You know, that's not the intention there to be offensive. It's but so many of these words they have adopted the loan words. It's not like they're loaning them. They use them. They have taken them. It's not like they're giving them back. But that's how they say that. The garaigo words. Um, a lot of them are just basically approximations that work in their language.
You know what I'm disappointed about?
Yeah.
That you have this entire list and you picked out some words,
Yeah.
and yet you didn't pick up penisu.
Oh God. Well, I didn't
Really
get that far.
disappointed. I'm
Actually, I
really
did go
disappointed.
past P because I did see Pikaru and I did see Pansu. Oh,
Yeah.
also
You had pantsu. You were so close to penisu.
mhm. They literally I didn't realize because I have a sound alert on my stream, right? Which is the Pisa Mozzarella, which is the Gyro Zeppeli says that in Steel Ball Run. He has a song where he just sings Pisa Mozzarella, and he just repeats it over and over. And I thought they were doing a Japanese voice trying to say Italian things. No, pizza in Japanese literally is pizza. So yeah, they just took that word from Italian. So it's just pizza.
And mozzarella is mozzarella also mozzarella?
That mozzarella, yeah, that's how he sings it. Yeah, I don't know if that's also the good question, but I think because it's a name, they would just use the name of the cheese, right? How do they say Gouda?
It's not in the list.
I assume they would have to find a way to say Gouda. Can you buy Gouda in Japan? How do people order Gouda in Japan? That's a good question.
So many questions.
I'm sorry.
And I only have this for an answer.
Penis,
Penis.
Yes.
penis,
Penis. Okay, Shalama. Let's wrap up this shit.
Oh God. Yeah. That's great. That's great.
All right, this is the end of the podcast segment. So, are you gonna
Yes.
go live after this?
I am not. I don't really have my brain power to have anything else to say anymore today. I think.
Yeah.
I might choose to skip this. I might be able to pull a stream off tomorrow earlier potentially. I was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we went a little over an hour too. But I had fun. That's fair. I think. I think that was very enjoyable.
Yeah, started off pissed, ended off silly. That's a good journey.
Well, I knew you were frustrated about the tech stuff, and I tried to cheer you up a little bit and brighten the mood. So that's, and everybody that listens to tech stuff and then also is like, yeah, I also hate tech stuff. Well, but now I get to listen to Penisu. So there you go.
Yeah, we're in this together.
We're all in this together. Yes. Just remember that there's fun words to learn.
Yeah, when you're mad at
As long as
taxes,
you're-
just remember how you say penis in different languages.
Exactly. Yep. Anyway, thanks for having me. Thanks for listening.